Hello, welcome back to Learn Economy. In this video, we are going to look into a very important policy aspect, the National Population Policy of 2000. We know that India is the second largest population in the world, and the current population in India is considered as 1.3 billion, and the population growth of India is actually continuing. It is expected that we would overtake China, just the first largest population in the world. The country, India, has gone for a national population policy in the year 2000, and this is a policy taken by the central government, and which this policy is considered to be a very revolutionary policy change, which has made many implications in the sector of demography of India. This population policy, the immediate objective of this policy is to meet the unmet needs of contraception, healthcare infrastructure, personal health personnel, and integrated service delivery for the basic reproductive and child health care. And also, the policy was aimed to reduce the total fertility rate to a replacement level by 2010. The TFR was to be 2.1 children per woman. Okay, so this is actually an average, not 2.1 as exact number. It is just an average figure. The very long-term objective of this particular policy was to achieve a stable population policy by the year 2045, which is consistent with the requirements of sustainable economic growth, social development, and environmental protection. Coming to the features, important features of this policy, we could see that this population policy, it reinforces a vision of government, especially in the arena of encouragement of voluntary and informed choices, and this aim at making school education free and compulsory, and this is pertaining to the age group of 14 years. I mean, till 14 years children should get free and compulsory education, and the policy also aims at reducing the dropout rate for boys and girls. uh, Reduction of infant mortality rate to under 30 per thousand live birth is another important feature of this policy, and also the policy was aimed at reducing the maternal mortality rate to under 100 per 1 lakh live birth. Universal immunization for all children against preventable diseases was another important motive. Then the program was also aimed at delaying the marriage age for girls. 80% institutional deliveries attainment was another important aim of the program. Also, the program tried to attain 100% registration of pregnancies, birth rate, deaths, and marriages. It also tried to prevent and control communicable diseases. It also integrated the Indian medical systems in the reproductive and child health services. It tried its level best to deal with the containment of spread of AIDS, so as to boost better coordination between management of reproductive tract infections and sexually transmitted infections. It rigorously tried to deal with a small family norm, and also it tries to bring about a convergence of all related social programs so as to attain, or so as to bring about a family planning and welfare program for the country. This population policy, or the national population policy of 2000, is considered to be something which is different from the previous population regulation programs which India has gone for, because the population after I mean, the population has become a problem for the country, especially after the country has become the second largest population in the world. It has become a problem for the country. So it was a challenge before the government of India to deal with this problem, and it was to deal with this problem that India has gone for this population policy. Uh, what was the evolution of India's population policies, or what made India to go for some kind of population policies? We know that even before independence, there were many attempts which were made by the country of India to deal with the population when it becomes a problem. Okay, so we could see that in 1940, what happened was that Radha Kamal Mukherjee Committee was constituted, and it was the International Congress, which who it was the International Congress which has taken the initiative, and this party has gone for the appointment of a committee which is headed by scientist Radha Kamal Mukherjee, and the main aim of this committee was to suggest some solutions to deal with the population growth, and that was something which was increasing rapidly after 1921. So the committee was constituted to deal with the population increase during that time. The committee made several recommendations. It recommended for self-control, generating awareness for cheap and safe birth control measures. It recommended for discouraging polygamy, and also it recommended for reducing the birth rate in the country. Then we could see that in 1946, in 1943, there was another committee which is known as a BOW committee. The Health Survey and Development Committee, which is considered as a BOW committee, this was constituted under Sir Joseph Bore. That is why it got its name as Bore Committee. It has made some recommendation based on the deliberate limitation of a family as a measure to control food population growth. It has submitted its report in 1946. We could see that gradually India became very much prominent with respect to the increasing rate of population growth among the developing countries. There was an urgent need to constitute a committee to deal with population, and as a result, in 1952, a population committee was established to frame policies to deal with the population growth rate, but that was not very much successful. In 1956, a central planning board was constituted. This was basically to focus on the area of sterilization. Again, in 1976, there was another initiative. The government of India has made an announcement to deal with the first population policy. It has taken some stringent action to deal with checking of population growth, and this policy include increasing the minimal legal marriageable age, providing monetary initiatives to deal with birth control, women's literacy program encouragement. Population here was made as a main criteria to deal with what to say to deal with all these kinds of actions. So using different forms of media was very much important here. This was mainly made to create some awareness among people. In introduction of population education was made in schools as well. That was a kind of formal education. Then it happened emergency time. During 1975 to 77, emergency broke out in India, and during that time Indian government has gone through some stringent measures to control for population. Some policy measures were introduced, or it were implemented. These were implemented to deal with the reduction of population growth. Forced sterilizations were there, and this was something which made the Congress government to lose its seats when election was reconducted in 1977. After 1977, or after the emergency period, there was another election in 1977, and which made the Congress government to lose its seat. The new government took charge, and the new government which assumed charge in 77, it discarded the use of forced family planning and sterilization program. Then what happened was that the government in 1983 has gone for another policy which is known as a national health policy, which was adopted in the same year. And this health policy gave emphasis to small family norm. And they have advocated, I mean, the norm have advocated some voluntary efforts to deal with the population control, to make population a stabilized goal. Or they also the government has also advocated for the attainment of population stabilization, and that was not any compulsory kind of sterilization that the government followed, but the government told the people to go for some kind of voluntary efforts to reduce the population growth. Then a committee on population was appointed in 91, which has submitted its report in 93. And here also the committee made several recommendations regarding population growth rate. Here, as apart from population, the committee has gone for some other kind of aspects as well, like development, environmental protection, etc. So, a monitoring mechanism with the short-term or long-term perspective and goals to deal with population was a main attempt made by the new committee, which was appointed in 1991. As a result, we could see that a group was created, an expert group was created, and this group was headed by Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Or the committee uh, went on to create a draft for the national population policy, and finally what happened was that they have created a draft. The committee, which was headed by M.S. Swaminathan, created a draft and submitted, and as a result of the same, the national population policy came into existence in 2000. What is the way forward with respect to this population policy, which is a very important question, especially when we could see that India is still considered as the second largest population in the world, and it is running in a sense that it will soon overtake China with respect to population growth rate. So, population is actually a not it is considered to be a problem as a result of lack of awareness or education. So, contraception, sterilization, etc. These are considered to be measures, successful measures, only when people become aware. The focus must be on a basket of issues like poverty alleviation, women empowerment, education, awareness, etc. Because India is facing a lot of problems like these apart from population growth. But when the population growth increases, what happens is that number of people who fall under the net of poverty, what inequality, lack of education, all these things would increase. So as a result, it is very much important to focus on the problem of population growth. Adequate measures should also be given to demographic dividend. We should make it sure that the number of people is anyway increasing, but the people who are increasing, they are healthy, they are educated. All these things should be ensured by the government. So that's all for today. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more video. And you can be a part of my Telegram group and Telegram channel to discuss your doubts. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. I'll be providing the links of both my Telegram group and Telegram channel in the description box so that you can be a part of the same. So thank you.